What's good, Trucking Empire? Today's video is going to be about something that I get asked very frequently, and that is how the fuel prices affected the game. Whether it's how much profit you can make, how much more money you're spending per week. We're going to answer all of that, and I'm going to have proof with rate cons, with receipts of fuel, how many miles were done. We're going to go over all of that. No secrets are going to be kept today. So the two trucks I'm going to be talking to you guys about, one is before the fuel really shot up. It was already a little bit high, but just to give you an idea of how it used to be, and then I'm going to give you the other breakdown for a truck that ran for us last week that I was dispatching. Me and my team dispatched, and it was about the same amount of miles, same amount of money that came in, same rate per mile roughly, and the same areas. So it'll be a good way to compare and see how much more it is now to run your truck. First truck, like I said, is going to be from February 21st to February 28th of this year, and it was a truck that ran for me. So without further ado, let's talk about this truck first, and I'm going to get right into it. All right, so this truck here, the first load we're going to go over, I'm going to put it on the screen for you guys as well. It's from Evansville, Indiana to Kansas City, Kansas. It is 418 miles, $950. So that's our first load. We have Kansas City to St. Louis, 232 miles for $500. Load 3 came from a direct shipper that I have in St. Louis. From St. Louis to, it's a 3-part load. So this all fit on one truck, and it was just sectioned off with different rate cons. So St. Louis to Lancaster, PA was $1,200. St. Louis to Medford, New Jersey, $1,000. St. Louis to Edison, New Jersey, $1,000. 942 miles for $3,200. Yes, you heard that right. 942 miles for $3,200. Load 4, Newark, New Jersey to North Ridgeville, Ohio. It is 472 miles for $1,000. Load 5 and the final load for this week, which is the 21st to the 28th of this year, is Barberton, Ohio to St. Louis, Missouri. That is a 42-mile deadhead from Barberton to Ridgeville for the pickup, totaling, and the loaded miles is 542 miles for $1,100. So total miles is 582 for $1,100. Altogether in this week, the total miles were 2,600 miles. The total revenue was $6,750, meaning the rate per mile on this truck in the Midwest to the East Coast was $2.59 a mile. The average price on fuel back then, I'm looking at it here, it says $4.44 per unit. Now it's about $5.60, $5.70 nationwide. Besides the point, we have $6,750 gross revenue for that week. Let's get into how much money he profited, or you could profit as an owner-operator, making $6,700 and 2,600 miles before fuel got high. So you take out the $1,633 for fuel and def, which I'm putting on the screen now. You guys can see the report. The top half is a different truck, but the second half down is obviously the same truck and all the same locations and the fuel that he paid for. So we're looking at $1,633 for def and fuel, $450 for truck insurance that week. My truck insurance was pretty high at this point in time. $1,100 for the truck rental fee for that week, equaling $3,563 or $67 in profit. Now, if you're an owner-operator out there and you're wanting to work with someone like me or a dispatch team that's going to take care of you and get you a week like this, it would have costed you obviously 10%, which is $675. Still leaving you a profit of $2,890. It's crazy how things have changed, and I'm going to go ahead and get into the other trucks breakdown right now so you guys can see how much less you'll profit now with the fuel being high. Let's do it right now. So as I mentioned to you guys before, we're going to be going over a truck from last week. Obviously the fuel's been really high lately. And this truck is one of the ones that we dispatch for. It's a good carrier, drives his ass off, so I really appreciate him. Shout out to you, Somali. But we're going to go over his full week. Last week, his fuel receipts, his gross, all of his numbers, all of his expenses, and show you guys what a real profit looks like as an owner-operator right now with these fuel prices being so sky high. This week that we booked him these loads, they're fairly good loads. You know, this is a decent week for us. We have better weeks. Like this week, he made around $9,000 for around 2,600 miles or so. So, you know, keep in mind, I just tried to pick the week that was closest and most similar to the week we used for my old truck from the 21st. to the 28th. So let's get right into it. All right. So with this first load, we have Portland, Tennessee to Lansing, Michigan. It's 506 miles for $1,250. Load 2 is Rochester Hills, Michigan to Madison, Wisconsin. 443 miles for $1,100. Load 3 is Milwaukee, Wisconsin to Springfield, Ohio. 405 miles for $1,000. Load 4 is Greenfield, Indiana to Lexington, Kentucky. It's a 112-mile deadhead, 160 loaded miles for $850. Load 5 is Louisville, Kentucky to Willington, Connecticut, 880 miles for $1,800, bringing his total gross for the week, gross revenue, to exactly $6,000. Total miles is 2,506 miles, bringing his rate per mile to around $239 per mile. And as you guys seen on a lot of those rate cons, a lot of them did come from the same broker, and that is because we have connections with different direct shippers and brokers in my dispatch company. So with him making $6,000 gross profit, or gross revenue, I'm sorry, these are what his fuel receipts look like. We're going to get into his expenses and we're going to show you his net profits. So I'm going to put the receipts on the screen for you guys. We have on 5/9/22, which was obviously last week, we have $100 and $200. Also, quick note, this guy does not use eManager or a fuel card program right now, so this is why I'm using just receipts, and he prepays. That's why it's exact amounts. So on 5/9/22, we've got $100 and a $200 purchase. On 5/10/22, we have $125, $100, $200, and $191. On 5/11/22, he did not get fuel. He was in a hotel. 5/12/22, he spent $100 and $170 on fuel. On 5/13/22, he spent $150, $200, and $125 on fuel. On 5/14/22, he spent $150 on fuel. 5/15/22, he spent $102 on fuel and $150 on fuel. He got no fuel on the 16th, bringing his total amount spent on fuel for the week. Mind you, this is 2,480 miles. Well, right at 2,500, but he spent $2,063 to go 2,500 miles. That's absurd. It's crazy expensive right now. And mind you, this is a box truck. This is not a semi. So, it's costing around 80 cents a mile right now to just run your truck on fuel alone, not maintenance, nothing else. So just keep that in mind, guys. But once we make it through this storm and the fuel starts going back down and rates go back up, we're going to get through this. So let's go to his net profit, right? So $6,000 gross revenue, $2,063 on fuel and DEF, $1,100 on his truck payment last week. He rents. $400 on insurance. This client's insurance is pretty cheap, $1,600 a month. So $400 in insurance that week brings his total profit to $2,437 minus our dispatching fee for being able to find him beautiful loads like this and him not having to work too hard. Brings it down to $1,837 profit. With the fuel conditions right now, I think that's a pretty good week. So if that answers you guys' question, yeah, I believe that trucking is still profitable. I think that it's less profitable than it used to be right now, but it's only going to go up from here, hopefully. Fingers crossed that it doesn't get any worse. But it is still profitable. You guys still can get in the game. You guys still can start a company and be successful. Just have the right people around you. Have the right dispatchers moving. You have the right experienced team around you, the right mentors to be able to guide you through this game and show you, hey, that's a bad load. Hey, don't take this. They don't factor. And to get you to the point where you can be a successful company. Because if you can make it right now, I promise to you, you will flourish when the economy fixes itself. So as a recap, we have, for the guy who did the loads on the 21st to the 28th, he did 2,600 miles for $1,633 in fuel. The guy last week that did these loads, Somali, he did 2,480 miles and it cost him $2,063. So in turn, what does that tell you? It tells you that the fuel per mile was 62 cents a mile back in February, right? Now in May, we're looking at 83 cents a mile. That's 21 cents a mile average higher than what it was a couple months ago. Now, obviously, you have to know what you're doing with your company. You have to make sure your profit margins are right. You have to make sure you know your cost per mile to be able to stay in business during something like this. So that's a drastic change. It's really hard right now for you guys. So just make sure you have the right group of people around you. I think that's it for you guys. I think that's everything for this video. Drop a like and a comment and subscribe most definitely on this video. For all the transparency I gave you on this video, I don't think there's anybody else on YouTube doing this right now. So I'm giving you guys the full uncut raw rate cons, fuel prices, receipts, everything you guys need to be able to see that I'm not fibbing. This is straight truth. I'm trying to show you guys that there are legitimate people out here who care about you still. I'm not just on YouTube just to make money. I'm sitting here doing this for you guys. So drop a like, comment, share this video, and subscribe. And hit that bell for sure, because I'm about to start dropping a lot more videos, at least once a week. I'm trying to get it to 2 a week, but you know how that goes. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you are wanting to get dispatched by me or my team, we're growing every day, adding more trucks every day and more dispatchers. Go ahead and email me. Email is always in the description and every video, and we'll see what we can do for you. So until then, you guys have a good rest of the weekend and a good upcoming week. Peace.